Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! This is where I think we're going to see the caution. Oh! Here comes Angela, though. He'll have the run. That car, the newest below the WL Cup Series champion. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the season finale in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series Chase for the Championship. Tonight's race from Atlanta Motor Speedway for race number 20. After a week off due to unforeseen circumstances with one of the championship drivers and in the world in general, we are back tonight, hoping to have a fantastic race here at the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, and looking forward to a good time. Alec Martinez is joining me in the booth tonight for this final race of the season. Alec, your thoughts here at HOTLANTA?
I know it's our last one, which is a little bit somber, but like you said, it's championship night. The top 2 in points after all these races and over an entire season, tied in points. But with there being more than 19 points right now, with there being more than 19 cars in here tonight, there are still 4 drivers eligible for the championship: Keith Mayato and Ben Bafford. One of them, this is the most important qualifying session of their BTDY careers. They need to win the pole to have a chance at a championship. If neither of them get the pole, they might mathematically be eliminated. Bafford not getting the pole might eliminate him. Keith Mayato about to finish his lap, and he's going to go to the pole.
Wow.
That could be big. Cabot in second, Bailey Turner in third. But here's the point situation as we load in tonight. Again, championship race night. I love it. This season's been so unpredictable. It's crazy how things have turned out. But yeah, Keith Mayato, with there being more than 17 cars showing up here, he is up to first. He needs to lead every single lap, but he also needs, which is probably the hardest thing, the tallest task, he needs Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot to finish 18th and 19th.
Yeah, I don't think he has to lead every single lap. He just needs to make sure that those guys don't lead a lap.
Yes.
The problem is Adam Cabot's starting right to his outside, it appears. Bailey Turner's just a few rows back. You know, it's not not gonna be too hard for them to maybe get up there even through a cycle to lead some laps. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, is how do you prevent those guys from capturing any bonus points? But he's done his part here in qualifying, and looks to be in good shape to hang on to that pole. Angelo Ronis is on the racetrack. We do see Jeff Wright out there. James Loveland, AJ Stravato looks like he was not able to get a time in. But if you guys could go out there and potentially steal the pole away.
Yeah, but man, I tell you, what a great season we had. Like I said, the last race of the season, the championship, to all come down to this race, final race of the season, tied in points for the championship.
Yeah.
Can't really ask for better, right? I mean,
yeah, with this,
the best guys this year. I mean, Cabot went on an insane run. He's won the last 3 races, or 2 races. And if he can win this race, obviously he'll be hoisting his first championship of the night. And Bailey Turner, who's put together a great playoffs, I mean, he's got a chance here. And it's no longer best man wins. It was going to be best man wins if we had less than 17 cars. Now that we don't, points are still in effect. They're not going to get the championship point or the pole point. So that's going to be a little bit different. If they lead a lap, if they don't lead the most laps, it'll still be whoever finishes ahead of each other will win the championship. So still up in the realm of possibilities here. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I think if we get a tiebreaker, it'll probably be to whoever finishes ahead in this race. So I would assume it'd probably be either Cabot or Turner. So I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be a great race. The last one of the next gen car for BTDY, at least for the next few months, as the next season in already 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, or no 2 weeks, because the Clash. We're going to be in the Xfinity cars. The last race on a custom setup. So hopefully they enjoy that. And I tell you, man, I am just so excited to get the green flag here tonight. Kick off championship night, the standalone event for BTDY this weekend. It's going to be awesome, and I just can't wait to get this race going.
yeah.
It's going to be wild. And as qualifying ends, who should we pull up? Should we pull up maybe our pole sitter?
Yeah, let's talk to our 4 contenders, coming into the race.
Bafford's close, but I'm not sure. Let's take a gander here. Let's get our pole sitter, though, Keith Mayotte.
Yeah, we'll pull them up.
Well, they're going to the driver's meeting. What do you think here?
Yeah, maybe we'll hold off then.
Wait for just a second. After they're done, I'll let you know. We'll pull Keith Mayotte in, but
yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible season, like you said, and the fact that this chase format, with 8 races, and we've come down to a tie entering into the final race. We'll have to take a look at the tiebreaker format. I think it's average finish, which
might be, yeah,
if they do somehow end up tying on points here tonight, Cabot does have like a whole position advantage in average finish. So I think even if Bailey was to win and Cabot comes home in the second position, I think he would win the tiebreaker. Assuming there's a lot of assumptions being made, right?
A lot of things, yeah.
We've gone through all the scenarios in our head here in the last couple of weeks, and there are a million options of what could happen here tonight.
So,
but
just hearing Ben Bafford with not getting the pole has been eliminated from winning the championship.
yeah,
He can still get third. So there are 3 cars. There's still 3 cars that can win the championship. Keith is going to absolutely need everything to go perfect.
well, he's off to a good start here with the pole.
He's off to a great start. I mean, I like where he's at here, but and then we should also just point out just the guy. I mean, I think overall this entire season, I think big shout outs to Jeff Wright, who's done the last few weeks getting really, really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. That 48 machine has picked up the pace here. I know he's looking forward to next season with the Xfinity cars. So should be fun to see him kind of wheel it out there in those. I know he's had his struggles at points this season, but definitely he's starting to get pointed in the right direction. And he'll be rolling off 12th here, it appears.
And he's confident going into next year. He's a big fan of the Xfinity car. And I've heard him say he's just he's really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited to run a few races and then be up here in the booth on occasion with you guys.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna have like the Fox Sports rotating booth, except we're just gonna rotate the actual main commentator, which is gonna be cool. But I'm excited to have you race. I genuinely might have to do one race. So I don't know if you race. I know you're gonna do Iowa, right? I've been told you're for sure.
I think Iowa. Yeah, at least one of those.
Are you doing more than? Been
Yeah,
wondering if we're doing.
I think we're doing probably 4 or 5 during
Oh,
the
okay.
season.
You're
I'll
doing
have
more
to.
than Dale Jr. at least.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look at the schedule and see which ones are my favorites there. But
Yeah,
we might be able to pull like an Eric Hutton into the booth for a couple races. If you
of
wanted to
course.
jump on the track, we could
I,
probably get him. And
I'm circling one. My favorite track, absolutely Pocono. I love Pocono, so I think that might be on my schedule for next year is Pocono. And then I don't know. Looking at with the other races there, nothing catches my eye too much other than Pocono. Bristol Dirt, I think I gotta commentate that one. That's probably gonna be wild. I've heard it might be something else. There's a possibility that one could change, but Michigan will be wild. Phoenix, to me, I'm not a huge. I'm not a great talent on short tracks, but I might just do one. But I think Pocono's for sure catching my eye, and that might be my one loaded start. Maybe even the Roval. I don't mind that track, but I know you're gonna do Iowa. I feel like we should both do Pocono. I think that would be great. But
I mean, I don't mind Pocono.
I
It's
love
not my
Pocono.
favorite track, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind going to the Tricky Triangle now and then. It's been a while since I've raced there. I think it was
Yeah.
in the Xfinity series in the season 1. It was the
Do we
last
have a
time.
graphic for next year? Like our schedule?
I don't have one actually. We don't
That's
have one
okay.
made. I can see if I can pull one in here. Let me see if I can find that real
Well,
quickly.
I just to let everybody know, the Clash kicks off in about 2 weeks. Let's see. Yeah, 2 weeks away from the Clash already, which is crazy to think of. IRP, that's going to be wild.
Wow.
And that's going to set up how they finish in that race is how they're going to start the race at Daytona, might I point out. So that's going to be wild. And then obviously we kick the season off. How can you not kick the season off at Daytona? We stay in Florida to Homestead. We go to the Roval. Then obviously we'll be doing Iowa. Then off week for Daytona, for the Daytona 500 week and Valentine's Day, because it would be on Valentine's Day. Then we go to Phoenix, Texas, Pocono, Las Vegas, Bristol Dirt, possibility that we go there. Then Michigan, Dover, and Charlotte's the regular season. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a heck of a season next year. But before we get to next season, those new and the Xfinity cars, we got one more night in the next gens. And the final race of the BTDY Premier Series season, 2 men tied in points. It's going to be Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, tied on points for the championship. My auto still with the chance here at the championship as we'll go through our starting grid.
Yeah, rolling off on the front row here tonight, it's going to be Keith Mayato capturing the pole, getting that very valuable bonus point for his situation and taking it away from Adam Cabot and Bailey Turner. And meanwhile, though, Adam Cabot is going to start in the second position here tonight, so he's got himself in a good position to kick things off. Brody Hayes rolling off from third tonight. Seth Hatchell, the 2-time champion, he'll start from fourth. Bailey Turner tied for that points lead. He'll start from the 5th position here tonight. Joshua Banks, nice qualifying effort. He'll roll off 6th. Cody Adkins going to start in the 7th position. Dennis Faircloth going to start from the 8th spot. Rolling off 9th, it'll be Chris Simard. And rounding out the top 10 tonight, it'll be Yusuf Gali.
And in 11th will be Reggie Ortega. 12th, Jeff J. Wright will be rolling off there. And then 13th, James Loveland. Good to have him back. It was also good to have Angelo Ronis back in 14th. Ben Baffert has been mathematically eliminated, but he is still 4th in points. Can get 3rd if he can get some points like Keith Mayato. He'll be rolling off in 15th. Willie Nelson, who's had a quiet but good season, he'll be rolling off 16th. The Italian stallion, AJ Stravato, who's won 2 races this year, he'll be rolling off 17th. Jeremy Miller was signed up but did not show up to race today. Eddie Trejo will be 19th, and Dallas Sullivan will be in 20th.
Yeah, so 20-car field minus Jeremy Miller, who is not going to make an appearance here tonight. So 19 cars out here. Pretty good sized field for the finale of the season. We weren't necessarily expecting to have that many here tonight, but 135 laps this evening from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, just a tick over 200 miles to conclude this season. Alec, I think it's time for us to make our picks here tonight.
I think it is. I'm glad you gave me the first option. How can you not go with him? He's the championship favorite going in tonight. I just got to say, Adam Cabot's going to win this race, and he's going to win this championship. He's just looked too good. They call him the Magic Man for a reason. Why not make one more magic night here tonight at Atlanta?
He has made some magic this season, but another driver who's really been up on the wheel, especially during the chase, Bailey Turner, he's going to be my pick. The two championship drivers going to be going head-to-head here.
I tell you, it is wild.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what could be an all-time classic race here in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series, and hope everybody out there is having a great time, had a Merry Christmas, and we're glad to be back. And make sure to cheer on your favorite driver out there in the chat. Let us know you're watching, who you're rooting for, and who do you think is going to win tonight's race. It is the championship finale in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series. Keith Maiato, Adam Cabot on the front row, about to get things rolling here, as the pace truck will lead the field through turn number 4. The final start of a race this season. It's going to be Keith Maiato into the restart zone. Green flag in the air, and we're off and away from Atlanta. Pretty orderly restart there, as Maiato will lead them out of turn 2, but here comes Cabot fighting along the outside.
And 3 wide in the back. Yusuf Ghali taking Banks and Atkins 3 wide as they're battling for the lead. Adam Cabot, if Maiato can keep that illustrious bonus point away from it, it'll really help out his season. Cabot fighting on the outside. He's got the momentum. Give a bonus point to Adam Cabot as Maiato fights back on the bottom. It's not going to be enough. Adam Cabot leads the first lap of the race and gets that illustrious bonus point as he uses the outside, and that's another talk of the night. Multiple grooves of racing are going to be able to be used here tonight. Will it eat up the tires? We know Atlanta is famous for eating up Goodyear Racing Eagles, and it's possible that it'll do it here tonight as Cabot goes to the lead. Bailey Turner not liking what he's seeing as he's got Yusuf Ghali already up on his back bumper. Faircloth and Wright side by side for the 6th position, and then mid-pack behind them, Atkins, Banks, Baffert going at it.
Yeah, good battle back here, just inside the top 10. Cody Adkins goes up the hill. Here comes Joshua Banks down low. Ben Baffert behind them, sporting the BMW paint scheme here. So definitely a new look for him. We're used to seeing the Tesla mobile, but look at this, 2x2 they go, 4 rows deep at the back of the field here. Maybe 5 actually, and we're about to be 3 wide.
They don't want to lose that top 7 here, and they're definitely doing that right now. So they're already a second behind Jeff Wright here, and I'll tell you, those boys that race on Thursday are really liking that paint scheme that Ben Baffert's supporting here tonight. But I'll tell you right now, Keith Maiato up at the front. He's starting to get a little more clean air to that nose, trying to challenge Adam Cabot for the lead. He's got his teammate Brody Hayes and his other teammate, the 2-time champion Seth Hatchell, behind him. Other than that, though, everybody's staying single file, but Cabot has that clean air, and I'll tell you, Maiato wants it.
Yeah, the 3 championship contenders up here in the top 5. They got to be careful not to make any mistakes early on, but here goes Maiato now, looks down to the inside across the start-finish line. He's going to dive into turn 1. Has to get on the brakes a little earlier, though. Here goes Cabot carrying that momentum. Going to be able to clear for the moment, but it looks like he gets a little bit tight on exit. Able to hold off Keith Maiato, though.
They got to be careful keeping the tires underneath them, because we've seen in practice these tires get really, really loose. So who's going to be saving those rear tires, keeping them cool here throughout this entire run? And it seemed like AJ Shervado and Bailey Turner had the most long run speed. Cabot and Maiato kind of fell off. Maiato also got the clean air in that run. So far right now, Cabot's got the clean air, and he's trying to take it he put some dirty air on the nose of Maiato. And now Bailey Turner is going to be racing side by side with Dennis Faircloth, as Ghali is kind of falling back to the clutches of Wright and Atkins. And now Wright goes underneath Ghali here for the 7th position, and almost making a little contact there into turn 3 as Wright takes the 7th position away from Yusuf Ghali. And how about Cody Atkins in that 81 car up in 9th? Yeah,
nice run for him so far here in the first 10 laps or so, and he's going to settle into the 9th spot. We did see Keith Maiato go up the hill.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's trying to save a little bit. Look at.
Got to go back. Faircloth almost gets into the water. Here comes Bailey Turner with that red. You can see that white and yellow car. Now Brody Hayes going for the lead on Adam Cabot.
But maybe Cabot pushed the issue a little bit too much those first couple laps. We know that if you're not easy on these tires here at Atlanta, you're going to shred them, and the clean air definitely plays a role. Your handling's going to change quite a bit more than those guys who are in dirty air.
Keith Maiato really fell back. He might be saving, like you said, but really falling off here now. Side by side, dead even for the lead here. Brody Hayes gets a little loose off the corner, allowing Cabot to clear him off the corner. And now things are going to get a little more antsy up at the front. Can Hayes set up another charge at Cabot? Loses the nose in the air. And now Seth Hatchell closing. As you can see, Brody Hayes goes straight up the hill there as Cabot gets in, as he gets into the wake of Cabot.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Cabot is being very defensive. He goes to the top side when Brody Hayes has been attempting a pass. They're going to have to try and make that move on the outside, I think, and maybe pour some dirty air. Look at the run here from Brody Hayes, though. He closes right back up. And Faircloth is on the move. Cody Atkins, big slide there. Hangs onto it.
Cody.
Yusuf Ghali, Angelo Ronas side by side. This is 9th and 10th. James Loveland, Reggie Ortega behind them. As the field a bit spread out here.
These drivers are loving what Dennis Faircloth is doing. He is rubbering up that outside lane. And they're going to love that for later in the races. Hayes now back down to the inside underneath Adam Cabot. The question is Cabot pushing his tires on that outside? Is he using enough? We know the track's a little more green up there. And when I say that, meaning it's more green, there hasn't been as much rubber put up to actually put some layers down so it doesn't chew up the tires as much. Where the bottom has a lot more rubber here. And it seems like it's getting a little bit more rubbered up here as Dennis Faircloth continues to run. You can see Brody Hayes getting a big run down this front stretch. And I'll tell you, the tires wear off so much here. There's 3 seconds of fall off over a 50-lap run. Another thing that I know, or that we're noticing with the drivers, we're saying it gets loose on the straightaway. That's how worn out this track is, and that's how loose these cars are. And it also shows how old this track surface is and how much it just chews up tires. You got guys getting loose in the dog leg.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I remember, you know, the days of 950 horsepower cars here. It was pretty insane as you got into a long run. Sometimes you'd be lifting basically out of turn 4. Oh man, big moment. Yeah, between Loveland, you can see he's starting to struggle with the back end of that race car. Good to see James back.
It is. And we've seen a lot of guys. You can see Bailey Turner loose on that inside. As Faircloth, man, he's got some pace in that 80 Geico Toyota Camrys. He got trouble down the backstretch. Cody Atkins loose. Can he save it? Yes, he will. But he'll fall back, and look at this pack that's going to run up on him. Baffert. You got Baffert, Nelson, Stravato, Sullivan. Then you got Samard, and then who's running last there now. Atkins really loose. He'll be able to get. Oh, he's going to hook it into the outside wall.
And nobody here behind, but that car is destroyed.
Oh, yeah, look at that right front tire.
Like he may just back it all the way into pit road here. Should not bring out a caution. Let's see what happened to him on the apron of all places. And he's lucky. He's lucky nobody was still coming. Oh boy, what a hit.
Oh, that's a hard hit right there.
He does pull it.
Totally bent. But now at the front here comes Brody Hayes. He's been right on him, I tell you. He's been right on him. Is he going to hurt those front tires, though, is the question. If he gets in that weight, we know the car gets really tight behind somebody. Does it hurt those front tires, and does it hurt those rear tires? But you can see, look how much drive off he has.
Yeah, and you can see the 17. Yeah, Cabot starting to lose the back end just a little bit. But Brody has been, you can see he lifts so much earlier. The 17 driving in way deeper.
Oh, he really drove it in. Mayato underneath Faircloth behind them for the 5th position. He'll take that away.
Yeah, so Faircloth maybe pushing the right side tires a little bit too much there up on the top side. And Mayato's just been kind of running his own pace back in 5th or 6th position.
And the fastest car that last lap. I'll tell you, Brody Hayes now underneath Cabot. Cabot gets loose off the corner. That's going to allow Hayes to get a chance at Cabot here. And right behind them is Seth Hatchell, who we know hasn't won a race. Hayes is going to sand them up the racetrack. And now that allows Hatchell to close into the battle. Hatchell, a 2-time champion, has gotten winless this season. I'm sure he would love to add a win in this season, which is, I guess I would say, been a disappointment for the 2-time champion. And right now, he's battling for the lead.
Yeah, he did get the regular season championship with no victories and has not been to victory lane during the chase. So this would be his final opportunity this season. He's won in every single season that he's been a part of. So it would definitely be, a missed opportunity to not get a victory. I know he's missed some races this season as well, but we've got battling further back here. Dennis Faircloth still up on the top side. You can see he is really losing the handle on the number 80 machine.
Yeah, he's really worn those tires off. Like I said, that top lane was pretty green, and you can tell he's paying the price for it now as he's laid all that rubber down off those Goodyear Racing Eagles. Jeff Wright quietly already up in the 6th, who started behind, well behind. I think he started outside the top 10 is D'Angelo Ronas pressuring Faircloth for the 7th position. Ronas, how about Angelo Ronas? Good to have him back as well. And he'll go up to the 7th. Yusuf Ghali closing in with Loveland and Ortega. I tell you, these boys really starting to hang these back ends out as Adam Cabot under pressure now.
Faircloth across.
Oh my goodness! What an incident for Faircloth. Hard hit. and it takes Yusuf Ghali out, and he's fair caught spinning in the middle of the track. Oh, and he gets nailed by Stravado.
Oh my goodness, what an accident. Dennis Faircloth had really been struggling after putting down some great opening laps there. He gets loose out of turn 4, I believe that was basically all that happened, and just overcorrected, and Yusuf Ghali was right there.
He got really, he tried to save it, and then he clipped the crest. Oh my goodness, that's such a hard hit. And then he slides back down the track, obviously no wheels, so he can't really control where he's going. And then, Travado nails him.
Not a way for the former champion to close this season out. He's had a rough stretch of races here as we will go back on board with AJ Stravado. He sees the smoke, tries to go low, follows the 22 there, the 31.
Do we have an onboard with Ghali or even Faircloth?
Yeah, let's see if we can go on board here.
You know, that wreck reminded me so much of Jeff Gordon's wreck in 2007 at Charlotte down the front stretch.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Where he got clipped, and then right in front of traffic where he just gets launched. Although Gordon never got clipped after the wreck, but oh my goodness, how violent that hit, a hit that is for Faircloth, and then he spins back down, and then
bam.
he gets nailed again in the infield. Hard
Huge
wreck,
hits.
and that's gonna bring everybody down to pit road here. Now, there's been rubber put down on the racetrack. How is that gonna affect this next run? We're gonna have to find out here. Now, crucial pit stops here for Cabot Bailey Turner.
Yeah, you do not want to make a mistake. And Brody Hayes really overshot.
By a lot.
My auto really kind of under drove into the pit box there. Took him a little bit extra. Let's take a look.
More crew. They really need to get to work here. Bailey needs to at least lead a lap and close up that gap. Great stop by Adam Cabot's crew. Set Hatchell up to second. Oh, Hatchell might get him out of pit road. Did he get him? He did not. Barely. A really close race off of pit road as Cabot keeps the lead. Bailey Turner up to third. But like I said, Bailey needs to lead a lap and get tied with Cabot in points again. He absolutely has to.
Let's see if we can take a look at the exit of pit lane here. Wow, very, very close.
Really close. It almost looked like Hatchell beat him, but I don't think he did at the line where they score him. Cabot keeps the lead. That allows Turner up into third, Mayato up into fourth, and Brody Hayes down to seventh.
Yeah, he overshot him. Yeah, he went through it really badly there. I'm surprised Mayato still gained positions. He kind of stopped short, and then he had to pull up a couple feet. Obviously didn't hurt him nearly as bad as it did Brody Hayes, who was about 2 seconds slower on pit road than anybody else. So first caution of the night here. I was looking at the weather a little earlier. It's pretty slick out here, 119-degree track temp. So no wonder these guys are going to start struggling.
Ghali beat him out of pit road? He did. Wow, that was amazing. Honestly, look at Yusuf's car. He didn't have that much damage for nailing Faircloth.
Yeah, right front and the front end in general looks to be a little bit caved in here, but
I'm surprised he didn't get out of pit road or get lapped. I mean, look at how close he was out of the. You ever seen a scene from Cars? It looks just like it. He beat the pace car out.
Yeah.
Look at this. Watch him coming out of pit road here. He's definitely speeding a little bit, but look at where he was, where the pace car was.
Oh yeah, it is just like that scene. That is hilarious. I wouldn't have thought of that.
No, I tell you, I love Cars. Cars is a great movie. But
it is a good movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the second and there's a third one, isn't there?
I've seen them all. I don't mind the second one, as the second one, it's not really, like, I love the racing aspect of Cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, obviously there's some racing aspect, but it's more about, like, the Mater thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind Mater. Mater's a great character. But, like, Cars 3 and Cars 1 are definitely better in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember Cars 2 at all. I'm pretty sure I watched that after I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so I don't think I was really all that present for it. But either way, I love Pixar movies, and the original Cars movie is a lot of fun. As pace truck lights are off, that means we're going to be going back to green here this time. Adam Cabot is going to be your lead car. He'll lead them into the restart zone and choose when he wants to go off here. And then it's going to be Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato, Bailey Turner, Angelo Ronas, Jeff Wright, the top 6. And looks like Adam has taken the outside lane, which is a little bit tricky here at Atlanta sometimes.
It really is. Yeah, you got to be careful. That bottom has a little bit of a lip on it, and it can get a little bit loose. And when I say lip, not how like it talks, but like a kind of like a little bump, and it kind of gives it some character there, especially on a restart where you could spin the tires, especially on a track like this where it's so old. That little bump there on the bottom, it really upsets the car if you spin the tires too much.
Yeah, and with the temperature as high as it is and the horsepower these cars have, you can definitely spin those tires. It is not going to be a surprise if somebody does that here on this restart.
Oh, I just realized as well, I think my auto is officially now eliminated from the championship with Atkins, Stravato, and Faircloth being out of the race.
Oh, yeah. Green flag back in the air. Cabot, nice jump over Seth Hatchell, who's sleeping at the wheel there. My auto's going to be able to clear for second, and now Hatchell will drop into third. Bailey Turner runs in the fourth position down there on the inside. Outside of him, though, Angelo Ronas on the move here, up from 14th starting position into the top 5 for the moment. Here comes Jeff Wright.
Yeah, Wright doing a great job trying to get some pace in that 48. He's been fast these last few weeks. Almost won Bristol and took the fight to Adam Cabot there that last race. But now he's running inside the top 5, giving himself an opportunity. And as I said that as well before, Keith Baiato starting to challenge Adam Cabot for the lead. Yes, it's for the race win, but it won't be enough for the championship since the last 3 cars that are out, or the last 3 cars in this order are out of this event. So that means it's between Adam Cabot and Bailey Turner. And I'll tell you, Bailey Turner's a big Keith Baiato fan right now. He needs Baiato to take those laps led away, because if Cabot gets the extra most laps led bonus point, it'll put Bailey Turner 2 points behind.
Yeah, Bailey hasn't led a lap yet. I mean, he's still got to get up there and get even 1 bonus point.
See, Baiato, he's challenging here, as you can see behind in the back here. You got our mid-pack, I should say, Ortega and Joshua Banks side by side for the 8th position. Behind them, how about Eddie Trejo inside the top 10, battling for the 10th position. He'll get by Loveland and move Trejo in that Caterpillar Chevrolet Camaro up to 10th. Now battling for 9th on Banks. Up at the front for the lead, Keith Baiato, a big run on Adam Cabot, practically almost giving him a bump draft down this front stretch. He'll go up to the outside. Cabot takes that air away and now puts Baiato up on the outside. Cabot down to the inside. Baiato going to set up for a big run off of turn 2.
Yeah, Cabot kind of parks the bus right there, but Baiato not held up by it very long as he goes to the inside. Look at this.
And that forces both of them up the racetrack there. Man, Baiato, you don't really see that out of him much, but forces Cabot up the racetrack dead even coming to the line here. It looks like Cabot's barely going to edge him as they're going to make a little contact there into turn 1.
Yeah, really tight racing up here for the lead, and Seth Hatchell about a 3-car length gap from him to these 2 is a little bobble down there on the bottom by Keith Baiato. That's going to cost him.
Flip the apron, but he still forces Cabot. Cabot going to shut the door on him.
Wow.
Cabot gets a bump, but he holds on to it. And now he moves up the racetrack. Now Baiato setting up for a big run. Cabot, we can see, fighting for a championship here. He is not going to give any space to his competitors. Here comes a big run out of Baiato again. Where does he go?
He's going to hold off for the moment, kind of use that second lane, cut down across the banking, and he's going to try and get a run to look to the inside, I think, down the backstretch again. Maybe he's going to try and fake him out. No, he'll stay in line.
I don't think Baiato's going to look for him the next time Cabot chops his nose off.
Yeah, he's got more to lose than Keith does at this point.
He really does.
Keith's just trying to fight to hold on to the 3rd position in the championship, I believe, at this point. So, I mean, I think there's payouts for the top 3. So Ben Baffert, I mean, there is something to be gained if he can run well. Currently 16th, not having the night that you would expect.
Yeah, I know. Surprising, he's just not been fast. I think he's kind of on the super save, which it looks like he is. So,
yeah,
which could help with the run, but he doesn't want to give him too much time. Like you said, fighting for that payout, that 3rd position payout. But right now, Keith Baiato is way ahead, and that's the guy he's battling. Unless Baiato gets swept up in a wreck here, I think Baffert's going to be probably getting 4th in points.
Yeah, he's going to have to try and find some speed in the number 23, but right now not doing that as Baiato is kind of backed off a little bit, but here he comes with another run, goes up the hill, almost catches the wall. Hatchell right there behind.
One mistake out of Cabot, I think he can get there. Right now, Cabot's doing a phenomenal job at keeping my auto at bay right now. As you can see, my auto peeks out right front into some clean air. That's going to allow him to shoot underneath. He's going to loosen up Cabot. He's going to bump him down the straightaway here. Now my auto's going to look down to the inside. Finally, another charge for my auto as Bailey Turner, Adam Cabot's competitor in the championship fight, getting passed by Jeff Wright, and my auto finally going to be able to clear up on Cabot. Cabot, he's got a big run. Does he try to cross him over? No, he doesn't. Keep my auto now. Yes, he does. Cabot now down to the inside. My auto to the point, but Cabot going to fight this.
Yeah, Cabot down low, going to try and get back to the lead here. But my auto in the defensive lane. Oh, big bobble by the 17. Man. They nearly make contact still, right on the quarter panel.
He's going to give a bail side rat down the straightaway here. What does Seth Hatchell do? Hatchell could easily take them 3 wide. I think Hatchell's probably going to try to set up to push his teammate past the 17, and this could cause Cabot to fall back 2 spots, as it might. Cabot, yeah, now he's going to lose 1 spot to my auto to the lead, and now that puts Seth Hatchell battling for second. What does Jeff Wright do? Who's in 4th now, who's past Bailey Turner. Turner starting to fall back. He's now right now side by side between Hatchell and Cabot. Hatchell might get a run on my auto as my auto got loose. That allows Hatchell to at least get to the outside of the 17. Can he get to the outside of the 36?
Yeah, Hatchell,
oh,
some
yes,
good,
look at that.
Good power and momentum up on the top side. The back end starts to kick out just a little bit, but he hangs on to it nicely with a huge run out of turn 2. Man. Look at that.
What a run for the 2-time champion. Hatchell up to the lead. He won Atlanta last year, might I point out, when he was racing with Zach Carr for the championship. Hatchell can make it double-digit winners, 10 different winners if Hatchell can get this. But he's got another one who hasn't won a race either, and that's Jeff Wright, who's close enough on the battle. That's for second with my auto and Cabot.
Already about
Cabot's tires and my auto's tires.
Yeah, Hatchell just drove away from these two. That is incredible. He's about 4 car lengths in front.
What Wright does here, he can set this pass up as they're just racing for second place here. You can see Cabot getting loose on the outside, or on the inside of underneath the 36. My auto gets loose on the outside. Here comes Jeff Wright, a big run as he tried to split the middle. We saw that happen in the Contender Series race last week, and it didn't work so well. That's Cabot with an absolute send and a half into turn number 1. He's going to commit the slide job on Keith Mayato.
Oh, boy.
He's going to challenge to the inside. Cabot knocks the back end loose. Here comes Mayato with the crossover into 3.
Yeah, that was a close call for Adam Cabot.
Man, they're going to lose the nose there into 3. Cabot had to go up to avoid contact with the 36. Mayato's going to lose 1 spot. He might even lose 2 to Jeff Wright. Wright looking up to the outside, now back down to the inside, crosses him over, going into turn 1.
And then Bailey Turner behind all of this, just hoping that everybody wrecks. But I think he'd like to just get up there and battle with these guys. I think he's just been holding back a little, trying to be conservative and not ruin his chances too early.
Yeah.
Doing a good job hanging in the top 5.
We should also point out that if Cabot were to really fall off on this run, if Bailey can get one position ahead, they'll be tied. And here comes Cabot. He's going to lose another one. There's just 2 battles side by side. Look at Jeff Wright down to the inside of Adam Cabot. He'll try to take second away from the Atlas 17 as Bailey Turner finally gets by Mayato for second, or for 4th. Now Cabot almost gets on the outside wall. Here comes Jeff Wright powering down the inside. That sets up Bailey Turner here to run up on these 2.
Yeah, the 17. Oh, boy. Oh, he's loose now. He's on the apron. Hangs on to it.
There, and now that allows Bailey Turner to get the position on Jeff Wright, move Turner up into 3rd, and now the battle for 4th will be between Wright and Mayato, as Turner's going to take the line away from Jeff Wright here. Wright looks like he's got a little bit better tires so far and a little more pace as he loses the nose there in the wake of the 24. And now Mayato fights to his back bumper, now to his inside with Brody Hayes.
Yeah, and Brody was one of the fastest cars in practice, so don't count out the 10. He is a winner this season. Been very consistent all season long as well. He's really a force to be reckoned with here this year in his rookie season. Very impressed by him. So he could be a factor late in this race. Usually very good on the long runs as well. So definitely keep an eye on him. Angelo Rona's kind of similar situation. Pretty good on the long runs. He's known for being, pretty smooth and trying to be conservative. But he'll get up there and maybe find his way to the front by the end of it, looking for his first career points-paying victory in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series.
of a driver when it comes to non-point paying races. I think he's won like two. He's won all of them this year at least, and I'm sure he would want to win the Clash. That's in 2 weeks in the Xfinity cars, so I'm sure he'll be a factor for sure. As you can see, Brody Hayes, he's right behind his teammate Keith Mayato, but now things starting to get a little more spread out. How about Seth Hatchell? A half a second lead over Adam Cabot, and now behind them the battle for fifth will go on here as Hayes now pulls to the inside of his teammate Mayato.
Yeah, Keith, I think, starting to struggle here. He pushed really hard behind the 17. Really, I think Cabot is also, I think he used his stuff up a little bit. He's been very close to the outside wall a few laps in a row. And Bailey Turner, he's making the moves. He's starting to close in.
And I'll tell you, I'm just surprised. That top lane, we've seen it the last few years where the top lane was the dominant lane. Look at everybody's on the bottom.
Yeah, crazy. I just wonder if it's...
Oh, Mariano's at the wall!
I just wonder if it's too loose up there. I mean, you can see evidence of that moment with Keith Mayato and Brody Hayes side by side. I think Keith, you know, you're just wheeling it so hard up there. You've got so much steering into these cars in the center of the turn. As soon as you make it towards the exit, I think the back end just starts to break loose. And it's even worse up on the top side for these guys tonight.
Yeah, this championship battle is about to heat up between Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot here for the what could be a tie. This will be a tie in points. And who knows how it'll affect the overall average finishes. Hayes gets really loose and allows Ronich to get right on by. But can Bailey Turner right now, can he get past Cabot? Can he chase down Hatchell and maybe lead a lap?
I think that's crucial for him to do.
Yeah. And right now, if Bailey can get ahead of Cabot, that'll put him back to tied with the way points are. And right now, I think Cabot has about 20 laps led. Hatchell will be closing in on that in about 10 laps if he can get there.
Yeah, if Hatchell continues to lead, then that most laps led bonus goes out the window for Adam Cabot.
Yeah, and it'll be whoever, if Bailey can lead a lap, then it'll be best man to finish.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see if Hatchell can lead for a little while here. I mean, they're going to be coming up on pit stops in what, about 10 to 15 laps?
No. At least another 20 laps at most if you really want to push it that far. Maybe 15 like you said, but I'll tell you, I doubt you're going to want to push it at least. You want to at least get to 40.
You know who's been really good on strategy this season and trying to get bonus points and maximize the fuel? That is Bailey Turner. And I think he could do that again here tonight. Honestly, I see very this possible. Race coming down to potentially a strategy call. If we don't get many yellow flags, this could really, really go the way of the 24 machine and the way he likes to run races. Looking a little further back here, side-by-side battle, James Loveland, Reggie Ortega. This is 8th and 9th. How about Eddie Trejo? You mentioned him already. He's in 10th position right now, ahead of Joshua Banks, Dallas Sullivan side-by-side. Chris Samard's back here.
Or Samard or Banks or even Baffert trying to save tire. Heck, Yusuf Ghali's falling back. Or he was involved in that first wreck. He's down to 15th, battling with Willie Nelson for 14. Is Baffert still trying to save tire is the question. He was not the fastest car that last lap. The leader was, which is Hatchell, who's got clean air. But Baffert is either just really off the pace or he's saving tires like crazy. Which I think most likely saving tires. Usually Baffert isn't this far off the pace, but he might be tonight. You just really never know. Maybe he's got an issue with that car.
He was a 10th faster last time by, so maybe he's picked it up. Chris Samard, same scenario. He's about a 10th faster than the leader. So, but the problem is, I mean, they're pretty far back right now. They're over 5 seconds. In the case of Ben Baffert, 7.5 seconds or so. That's a long ways to make up, even if you're a little bit faster. It's going to take you all race.
Yeah, and I can see these guys starting to slip and slide around even on the straightaway now. I just saw that out of Bailey Turner, who's kind of lost touch with Adam Cabot a little bit. And Jeff Wright is Bailey, man, you can tell he's really sliding that back end around.
Yeah, got to be so careful. I mean, the last thing you need is to bring out a yellow flag and go all the way to the back of the field and lose all that track position, if not, destroy the car. Got to just be so careful here late in the run. I mean, they're 27 laps in. You said maybe about 20 more laps or 45 lap runs sort of on tires here tonight. I don't know how far we can go on fuel though. How do you think? I think we can
go about 53 laps on.
53. Okay.
Possible, but it's really going to depend how everybody else cycles around you. As you can see right now, going underneath Bailey Turner here for third. And now, man, Turner really starting to lose some pace in that 24 after he slid the back end. As Turner trying to fight, he doesn't want to lose too much time to Adam Cabot and Seth Hatchels. Now he'll go down to the inside here. What does Keith Maiano do? He's got a big run on both of them.
Yeah, and Angelo Ronis right here as well with these guys. I mean, he is fully in the mix tonight. That is good to see.
Hoffman's trying to get some more rubber. Oh, Jeff Wright really loose out the corner. And that allows Turner to get right underneath the side draft. And that allows also the 36 of Maiano to close in. And how about Angelo Ronis in that 21 Bernie Linux car? He's closing in. Or Bernie Breakdown. Wow, I'm going back a year. But Bernie Breakdown car, he's starting to close in as well.
Yeah, nice run right here.
Right. Bailey's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose too many spots.
He also doesn't want to lose the race car. So there's a trade-off that can be made here, right? You lose the track position, you just try and stay conservative. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit sketchy on corner exit. Nice run for Jeff Wright, though.
There goes Bailey. He's going to get a hole here.
Yep, slots in.
Underneath Ortega here for 8th.
Yeah, these guys have been battling for the good part of 25 laps since the restart, pretty much. But they're just neck and neck. I mean, nobody can get an advantage between those two right now. Further back, Joshua Banks kind of by himself. Chris Samard is in front of Yusuf Ghali, who's gotten around Willie Nelson and Dallas Sullivan. So
really got squeaky going here. He wasn't the fastest car, but he's the second fastest car on the track here. Ben Baffert was actually the fastest car. And he's not making up enough time for it to matter at the moment.
He has closed nearly a second, though, in the last 4 laps or so. So he is definitely pouring on the pace here.
Battle from 3rd to 6th, or 7th, sorry, is going on right now. Is Wright loose on the straightaway. Everybody loose on the straightaway. That allows Maiano to get to the outside of Jeff Wright here. Wright sends it into the corner. What does Maiano try to do? Is Wright goes up the racetrack. That allows Maiano to get to his outside. Bailey Turner closing in as well. Brody Hayes on the outside of Angelo Ronis here. That allows Maiano up into 3rd. Bailey Turner trying to take 4th away. Hayes up into 6th. Ronis down to 7th. And now Turner looking to get 4th away from Jeff Wright here as Wright can't seem to hold it down on the bottom. Turner up to 4th now. He edges 2 positions closer to Adam Cabot, but Cabot a second ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're just playing leapfrog back there. It seems like somebody takes the lead of this group, and then they get loose, and then somebody else takes the lead. I mean, you see Jeff Wright, he has really pushed that race car. He's run up by the wall. I think that really burns the tires up a lot faster than these drivers would like tonight. Dennis Faircloth did that for a few laps, and he lost the handling entirely on that race car. I think Jeff Wright might be starting to feel some of those effects as well. Here comes Brody Hayes now, looks to the inside.
He definitely is, and you can tell now, Wright just trying to hold on for dear life here. We're close to the pit cycle within at least 10 laps of the window, maybe 5 if you're really trying to short pit it, and even more if you're trying to get it all the way to the end here. Or of a fuel run, which should be about 50 laps. You can see the momentum it carries is great, but it kind of falls off there as Banks has cracked his way into the top 10, going by Reggie Ortega here. I tell you, Joshua Banks is starting to pick up the pace in that 35 Mac Tools machine. And Ben Baffert as well picking up the pace. He was 0.3 of a second faster than our leader, Seth Hatchell. And Yusuf Ghali as well, starting to show some speed, although he was battling for position. But those guys are really starting to pick up the pace with those Mayless tires saying actually mattered.
Yeah, I think it is going to matter, but I don't know if they can make up that entire gap, but they may end up in a better position. You know, if a caution does come out, they might have made up some track position in general. James Loveland has gained a couple spots here. He's up to 8th right now, as Joshua Banks is closing in behind him, though. But they are both running lap times very close to the leader, if not faster. And then, yeah, like you said, Yusuf, Baffert, I think those two are the only ones faster than the top 5. But Hatchell's still running nice laps right now.
Yusuf surprisingly on the speed is, oh, Cabot, did he catch the wall?
He might have. Let's go back and take a look. Yeah. He went in really high. No, just stayed off of it.
He definitely got a big run off of 2 there, and Bailey Turner now back under pressure from Jeff Wright here. I think Turner, I don't know if he just doesn't have the rear tires or what it is. He just can't seem to get away from Wright. And we know Wright's been loyal to him enough where he might not pass him. He knows what Bailey Turner's racing for.
Yeah, he's been good at kind of staying out of the way of those drivers who are fighting for the championship.
Going on. Oh, there's contact with some other 4 wide off the corner. Look at this, 4 wide in the middle of the pack. Samard slides up into Baffert. That allows Gully and Baffert to go by Ortega as well. Ortega almost made some contact, but man, those guys saving time. Look at Samard send it in there and almost get into Ortega. Baffert up into 10th. Gully with a lot of damage up into 11th. And the battle behind there for 12th going on between Ortega and Samard as Dallas Sullivan has brought it down pit lane and got service to his 46 machine.
Yeah, he waved the white flag and said, it's a little too loose for me. I think I'm going to come and take some tires. And he's going to get service done and exit onto the racetrack here. 1 lap down in 16th position. We'll see when the leaders elect to bring it in here. Probably coming up pretty soon.
And the Hatchel right now has the most laps led, I think, at least at the moment. Oh, I got you. Oh, did you go into break? Oh, okay. All right, they can hear me though. So Adam is taking it here. And as like we said, Seth Hatchel doing his thing. All by himself here, but also mention Jeff Wright still battling. We don't have the camera on him right now. Adam's taking just a quick break here as Wright is pressuring Bailey Turner for the 4th position. Turner's really starting to fall off. He's gotten some pressure from Wright, and he's also getting pressure from Brody Hayes and Angelo Ronis. And I'll tell you right now as well, Seth Hatchel has had the lead here. He's been leading the last few laps, but you can see that red and black machine Atlas Chevrolet Camaro of Adam Cabot. He's starting to run down Seth Hatchel in that 8 car, and I'll tell you, he was just a few tenths faster than in that last lap, and Hatchel's been using that bottom, and Adam Cabot's been using that outside lane, and I'll tell you right now, Cabot slowly but surely reeling him in down this front stretch, down to 5 tenths of a second. Turner still under pressure from Wright, and you can see Adam Cabot using that higher lane here, getting a nice run if we go on board with them here as Jeff Wright. As you can see, Jeff Wright side by side with Hayes. We'll go on board with Adam Cabot here, going into turn 3. Cabot goes down to the inside, gets that clean air to the nose, and Seth Hatchel now starting to use that outside as well. We'll see when it pulls. Cabot cut it down to 4 tenths of a second, right there, about dead even that last time on lap time here. And now, here this last lap, Cabot 7-4 to Hatchel's 8-7. Is Adam, you're back now?
Yeah, I am back. No, just had to step away for a quick moment there. But yeah, Seth Hatchel, seeing that lead slowly start to fall away. Cabot is closing in. It's going to be tough to make any passes here, but he is quite a bit faster. I mean, he was almost 2 tenths faster last time.
Right on the brink of green flag pit stops here pretty soon. Mayato's kind of there, but he's a second and a half back. Bailey Turner is really just holding on for dear life. He's got Jeff Wright being loyal to him, not trying to pass him here. And Brody Hayes and Ronis are going out of here. Ronis up to the outside of Hayes here for 6th. And Ronis, if he get the run off the corner, should be able to get by Hayes, as Hayes just can't keep the throttle down on the inside. Gets really loose on the inside. There goes Ronis right on by here. And he'll go into 6th. Hayes down to 7th. Is that Ben Baffert? Yeah, that's Ben Baffert up into 8th.
Yeah, he has cut the deficit from about 7.5 seconds down to 3.6. So he's recovered more than half of the deficit here in probably about 15 laps. Yeah, here he goes, looking to take 7th away.
I thought I was seeing things when I saw him. And Baffert is up into 7th by Hayes like it was nothing. And look at the pace he has. If we had go on board, we could see how much more time he's gaining in the corner and off the corner. Look at the run he gets.
Yeah, he is absolutely flying right now. He's about 3 tenths quicker, even while making passes.
Get one. He might get the 2-for-1 special here off of 4 if he can pull next to Wright. And he'll easily blow by Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner at the pace he's going right now. Look at him now down to the inside of Wright. He's got a side back from down this front stretch. Shoot, Ben Baffert actually might play a factor in who can win this race here. And look at now, he's underneath Turner here, trying to get the 2-for-1 special up in the middle of 1 and 2 underneath here. And look at Dallas Sullivan coming on new tires in the 46. He's going to take him 3 wide.
Wow, this is getting really messy here, but Dallas should be able to just drive by everyone. And then look at this.
Right, trying to take him 3, but it's not going to matter. Ben Baffert just blows by both of them. And here comes Ronis now closing into the battle.
Yeah, Ben Baffert is 4th. He was literally back in 16th probably about 20 laps ago and more than 7.5 seconds behind. Now he finds himself just 3 seconds off the leader and making up great time. But pit stops are closing in pretty soon.
Ronis up to the outside of Jeff Wright here. He'll get 6th away now as Baffert, like we said, up into 4th amazingly. And honestly, I would say 4 of the best drivers are inside the top 5 right now, but Ronis really starting to put the pedal down, and he's starting to make some paces. He'll look up to the outside of his teammate who's battling for a championship, Bailey Turner. He'll look for the 5th position here.
Yeah, and really, I think the top 5 drivers have been the top 5 throughout the season. Seth Hatchell, your regular season champion. I think in terms of average finish, he's right up there with those guys. Just doesn't have the victories. But yeah, all the rest of the top 5 are contenders. So it's pretty impressive to see all those guys here in the final moments of this season.
We haven't really seen the super save work these last 10, 15 races. But it's working for Ben Baffert. He was 0.4 of a second faster than our leader. And those leaders they're going to be pitting here pretty soon, maybe in the next 5 laps. And I'll tell you, Hatchell has kind of come back to Cabot a little bit, but Baffert is, look at the pace he's got. He'll see here. He'll go next to Mayato. He'll dive it under like it's nothing. It sends Mayato up the racetrack. I don't think Mayato was even expecting that. Look at that. Baffert just goes by for 3rd like he has fresh tires. He's cutting down to 2 seconds on the leaders, and now he's got clean air as far as you can see till he gets to Cabot.
Cabot entering turn 1 right now. Both these drivers working the top side of the racetrack at this point in the run.
That top starting to come in is the question.
Interesting.
And I can very well see it.
Interesting to see the different approaches to the corner there. Hatchell ran it all the way along the outside, and you see Cabot kind of drop down and cut the banking.
Joshua Banks now, he's battling Bailey Turner for 6th, and I'll tell you right now, Bailey Turner's going to need a caution, and he's going to need to debrief with himself under that caution to get his head right. I know he's probably a little bit frustrated right now. He needs to just find a way to get himself ready to go. If there's another caution, get himself set up for the next run, because right now, I guarantee he's not having the greatest of times, and right now he is losing points to Adam Cabot as he's dropping through the field.
Yeah, and a little, we probably should point out Bailey is in California, and he had an earthquake, and that is why we actually delayed this race to this week. There's a lot of excuses that can be made, and all of them are completely justified if he does not end up, having enough practice in and ending up, winning the championship tonight. But either way, Bailey has had an incredible season, and it is good to see him, contending as hard as he can here tonight. And we're so glad to have him back, and that he's safe and everything's okay with him. And
absolutely.
So yeah, we do hope that he can find some pace here, though. I mean, he's got to be feeling the pressure.
He has to be, and right now Adam Cabot is hounding that 8 car Seth Hatchell. He's cut it down to 2.5 of a second. But don't look now. Look at who's only a second behind them. Ben Baffert in the 23 BMW car has ran them down from 7 seconds. He is only a second behind, and he was a 0.4 of a second faster than both of them that last lap. And I guarantee you Adam Cabot and Seth Hatchell are going to be amazed when the 23 goes by them at the pace he's going, and noticing. Oh,
here comes Hatchell.
Oh, Hatchell's pitting, but noticing that Baffert's on the same tires as them as Hatchell, deep into pit road. Mayato's in as well. We'll see what Hatchell, if he made it. I think he should have been fine.
Yeah, we also saw Reggie Ortega and Eddie Trejo, James Lovely, or no, sorry, Yusuf Ghali, Chris Samard, Willie Nelson, all of them coming in.
Hatchell. When does Cabot bring it in now? I think Cabot's bringing it in this lap. Yes, he is. Cabot and
here goes Baffert. Baffert going to try and close up.
Going in hot.
Wow, he gets right up behind him.
See, Banks stays out, so Banks leads the lap ahead of Ronis and Bailey Turner, who's in 3rd, who absolutely 100% needs to get at least a lap led to put himself even with Cabot, who won't have the most laps led if Hatchell keeps doing what he's been doing.
Yeah, so Joshua Banks out there in the lead. Hatchell does go a lap down. He cycles right behind the leaders here.
Let's see, Ronis is pitting, so is Banks. That's going to allow Bailey Turner to get by them. If he can last it here, Bailey's going to get that lap lead.
But he's losing so. He's losing so.
Baffert beat Cabot out of pit road. I think Cabot missed his box. No, he didn't. No, Baffert just had an amazing pit stop.
Wow. Well, he gained so much time on pit road.
Yeah.
Andy also had a 0.3 of a second.
0.3 of a second. No, it was 0.3 of a second pit stop. Yeah, he was on the bumper of Cabot, and Baffert's up to second.
Wow. Keith Mayato is in front of him, though, so that's the difference in pitting one lap earlier. And Hatchell is about another 2.2 seconds up the road from him. Bailey Turner just bringing it in here. Dallas Sullivan, I think, also. Actually, Dallas, he pit early.
Ahead of everybody. Yeah, he's 17 lap fresher tires than Seth Hatchell. He's another half a track ahead of him.
Yeah, he is on like an additional pit stop strategy here, which, based on the fall off,
that might work. Just how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Yeah, how far ahead is he? 11 seconds?
Yeah.
Near 10.2 seconds. He has 16 lap older tires, so they will track him down very quickly. I mean, he's running a 1.5 seconds a lap slower, but he'll be out front for a few laps here.
Absolutely, and he's taking laps led away from Seth Hatchell, which Adam Cabot's loving that, and I'd love to see how many laps Hatchell has led. I'm not really sure here as we'll go on.
39.
39. Cabot's led, I think, 22. So
31.
Oh, he said 31, actually. Never mind. Oh, yeah, he did actually take the lead for one lap as well. So close on the laps led there, although Hatchell is 2 seconds ahead of, or actually 3 seconds ahead of Adam Cabot, who Cabot is stuck behind Ben Baffert, and Baffert has kind of kept his pace up instead of super saving. Man, Ben Baffert's going to look like a hero if he can somehow pull
Seth
this
is
off.
actually nearly 5 seconds ahead of Adam Cabot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that one lap's going to make a difference, but I mean, 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, because he's about almost 3 seconds ahead of Keith Mayato, who's in third, and then it's another 2.3 to Baffert and another 0.5 second or so to Adam Cabot. So that is, that adds up to just about 5 seconds for 1 lap difference on tires. I just don't know if that's going to be enough for those guys.
And remember, we're tied on points now with Bailey Turner leading that lap. He's gotten the points, so we're tied. Now it's just, can Turner get something off of Cabot? He's got 2 lap fresher tires. I don't know if it'll mean enough, but he's got 2 lap fresher tires and is at least now put himself back in a chance at winning this championship. As I'll tell you, Seth Hatchell is just 3 seconds ahead of his teammate. I mean, Hatchell might have put on the perfect pit strategy. He honestly might have put together, you know, the best pit entry as well. I mean, looking at it, he was a 30, he was not, I mean, Baffert was a whole second, almost a whole second faster than everybody entering pit road. He had a 38.4 on pit road.
That's incredible.
And Cabot had a 39, oh, has he lost the position? Oh man, look at Cat, oh, he's doing the Ben Baffert. He's saving.
I think he knows also that Bailey Turner is so far behind him that he can afford to save.
And Baffert's doing the same thing. Baffert's caught onto it.
And Yusuf Ghali is right there. Chris Samard goes around.
To do it as well. Ghali's got 1 lap fresher tires than Cabot. Honestly, if Ghali honestly or he's got 1 lap older tires than Cabot. If Ghali honestly wanted to do the same strategy, I'm sure he can get away with it. The question is, will they be able to run down? I mean, we got, let's just say this, 48 laps until we really start to figure out, maybe about 40 laps till we'll see the strategy actually start working.
You know what's interesting? You said 53 was the distance. Bailey Turner hit 5 laps ago.
Oh my goodness.
Which I think that's still too much. That's almost 60 laps. Yeah.
Well, everybody's got to pit once, I would think, but
puts him closer.
It puts him closer. Dallas Sullivan is going to get passed by Hatchell. That's going to put Hatchell leading more laps here, and pretty soon, if Hatchell can lead another 20 more, Hatchell's going to lock up that point, and that's going to take it away from Cabot, who obviously we can tell is way behind them. As there goes Hatchell right on by. So if Hatchell can lead another 20 or so laps, it's going to eliminate that point for Adam Cabot. And now Cabot's focus has got to be, Cabot's going to have to just focus on beating the 24.
Yeah, and he's looking at the 23 here as his kind of, the carrot out in front that he's chasing.
At the moment, yeah. That he might be racing Baffert for the win if Baffert can make up the time. But what was Baffert behind? He was 7 seconds behind, right?
Yeah, 7.4 or so. Yeah, so he is
8 seconds behind. How much time is he going to lose? But remember, they were all on even tires. They have 1 lap fresher tires. Can he afford an extra 2 or 3 seconds?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call to make at this point in the race. They're just gonna have to, do the strategy that they choose and live with it. That's basically where they're at this point.
Cabot's on the same strategy as Baffert, but remember, Baffert didn't have a car in his back bumper when he was doing it. He was all by himself doing it.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to reference the 17 here and try and keep him behind him. So that's a whole different issue.
How can you not love this?
Yeah, Cabot could push the car a little harder for like 2 laps. Get out in front of the 23 and then put all that dirty air on him, and you never know how that could affect them really. But I wonder, Bailey Turner, he is making up time on these guys. He was about 6.5, 7 seconds behind. He's closed up now. He's only about 5 seconds behind Adam Cabot now, so he is continuing to chip away.
Black pressure tires. Imagine if Bailey Turner tried that strategy. Would it work? I mean, if he was able to pull it off, I mean, you could realistically maybe have a shot at passing Cabot.
It's possible.
He 2 laps longer. I really don't know. It's going to be. We haven't really had one of these races since, I would say, Dover or even Iowa. Who can save the fastest? Who can save the hardest the fastest?
Yeah, I think Richmond. Did we have a little bit of this as well?
We had it was not even. I mean, no race was as. I think this is the hardest we've seen since Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, since Iowa. And remember who won that race at Iowa?
That was Ben Baffert. 2-time winner this season. He's it's been a little while since he's been to victory lane, I believe, right? All right, no.
Adam, I need you to listen to Bailey Turner's getting car. I think he's saving fuel.
This is what I was thinking. I mean, he's only maybe 4 or 5 laps needed. Oh yeah.
He's done it before.
And here's the thing.
Could this win him the championship is the question.
If this is what he's doing right now, he's actually still faster than the leader.
And because he's got those extra tires. He's got 3 lap fresher tires. Oh my gosh. So many strategies are playing here that could affect the outcome of this race. Not only the race, but the championship.
The problem is he is 13.3 seconds back. So if the leaders pit early enough, they would just chase him back down. That's the thing. Like if they stop early enough, I think they can make up all the time that he would be ahead, because he's going to have to save really hard.
Question is, how many laps we got to go? We got about 50 something laps to go, right?
47.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, that's gonna be hard for Bailey.
He'll have to go 59 laps. Or actually, he'll have to go exactly 60. So he has to go about 7 laps. He's saving pretty hard right now. He seems to be very good, and especially.
Run, I think it's possible.
I just worry that the fall off is so great in these cars.
It really has. The tire. I mean, they were about 3 seconds off their original pace when they turned their best laps. As I'm looking right now, Baffert and Cabot have picked up the pace. They're starting to get by. They just got by Gawley. They just got by Sullivan, and they're about to get by Samard. As Baffert now passing Samard here for 3rd. And Cabot will follow suit probably off of turn 2, and he'll get 4th away.
Yeah, so they are making up a little bit of time on the leader now, about 0.3 per lap. But I would expect, like we said, everybody else is going to probably pit again. They're probably going to pit, try and split this last run in half is what I would expect you'd try and do.
My question is, how many, what is this, 18? I think you got 47. Do you want to pit another 10 or 15 laps? I would say more like 15 to 20 and split this run in half. But I think maybe that's why we're starting to see Baffert and Cabot go.
Yeah, they realize they've got to cut that deficit down before they end up making that pit stop. Otherwise, Seth Hatchell and Keith Mayotte are just going to pit, and they'll extend that gap even further once they come back out on fresh tires.
I mean, right now, Seth Hatchell's pace. Mayotte's not really getting close with them, really. I think they're going to have, believe it or not, you're going to have to beat Seth Hatchell if you're going to win this race. And like I said, this is by far, he had this type of run at Las Vegas. both a mile and a half, but he hadn't had such a great chase. Missed a few races, but I mean, this has been his best race of the season, maybe other than Vegas. And man, it'd be something to close out that win and have some momentum going into next season, number one. But it would also really help if Seth could get this win, and I think he'd have the win streak still alive as well for every season.
Yeah, that would definitely be important for him, for his pride, for the stats, for all of those things, and just to close things out and build that momentum, like you said. It would be our 10th different winner on the season as well.
Ain't that crazy? And so I tell you, next year I could see there being even more than that, especially with the fixed setups. You never know.
Yeah, those Xfinity cars, I mean, anything can really happen in those things. There's going to be a lot of people contending for wins each and every week. So it's going to be very much a good time and a lot of fun to watch. Anybody could go out there and take a victory. But let's see if there's any battles on track right now. Joshua Banks, Bailey Turner pretty much knows its tail. I wonder if it would be better for Bailey to run behind the 35. Or
even they get kind of arrow pushed around.
It goes up on Dallas Sullivan now, trying to complete the pass here into turn one. He'll drive down low. Should be able to just go right on by. Dallas on much older tires. He'll probably be making a pit stop here in the next 5 to 10 laps.
How far back is he falling? He's falling back 12 and a half seconds.
Yep. But if he does pit and everybody else ends up pitting, he would cycle, depending on how much earlier he pits, he could cycle back to the lead. He'll just be less than 11 seconds out in front like he was before. Starting to really struggle here. You can see the handling completely going away for him.
I think the strategy for Baffert and Cabot is not going to work.
Yeah, they're just not making up enough time at this point. They kind of had to go sooner than they would have liked, I think.
They really did. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things happening right now. It's definitely, you know, a million possibilities how this thing could end up. Seth Hatchell could make a mistake on pit road. You never know, but he has been in dominant form. Dallas Sullivan bringing it on to pit road.
Interesting.
He started his cycle.
I mean, was it going to be 60 laps? Or, sorry, 50 laps to the end here?
It'll just be 40 for him.
40 for him. So, I mean...
He can go the whole way. He just went about 40 on this run. So.
Yeah, I mean, does he want to... Depends how big of a lead he can build. I don't know if he'll be winning this race. But I think it's definitely possible for him to get a good finish out of maybe a top 10.
Yeah, and if anything happens while he, you know, has gotten his lap back, he's kind of ahead on the cycle, he might be able to get track position and then maybe able to hold on to it for an even better finish or a chance at the win. Seth Hatchell putting a lap on Brody Hayes. That's not something you expect, but Brody might be in the super save mode right now as well. He's running very slow laps.
No, he's 3 laps fresher tires. Oh, he's saving fuel as well.
But he just got lapped. I mean, that is how much of a difference there is.
I don't think that's going to work. I think if anybody had a chance to be Bailey Turner, which we should still keep an eye on, if he can make it to the end, he's only 11 seconds back. I mean, he's not losing time, really. He's kind of been even at the 11th second mark because he's got so much fresher tires than everybody. Yeah,
the only cars he's slower than are the cars on fresh tires, and it looks like Ben Baffert and Adam Cabot, who are just a little bit faster than him. But he is gaining time on the leaders, a couple tenths a lap. I'm not sure if he's still saving, though. I think he maybe realized he's not going to be able to make it. Let's take a look on board here. No, still saving.
Saving. I don't know, man. It's going to be wild to see what can happen. Wait, what? Oh, I don't know if I'm seeing it, but the VSPEED cars are 1, 2, 3, 4 in order. From Hatchell all the way back to Mayato, and then behind them it's Hayes and Nelson. I don't know if that's for any reason at all. They just happen to all be by each other. But right now, Baffert is kind of... They're still 0.3 of a second faster. They're just...
they're just a little too far back. I think the leaders are going to pit in 10 laps, and you know they're just not going to be able to get there in time.
Well, here's the thing. What I could also see them doing. Do they want to stay out an extra 10 laps and then just push, go as hard as they can qualifying laps, and see if they can run them down on 10 lap fresher tires, which I just don't think would happen. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Brody Hayes goes up the hill. There goes Ben Baffert on through, and here comes Adam Cabot. Going to be able to go on by as well. mean, I get why they were doing the strategy. I just don't. It's not going to work this time. I really just don't see it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to really find something. I mean, they've got to go. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough laps left in this run. You know, I see the leaders maybe coming in here with literally within the next 10 laps, and I just don't think they're gonna be able to make up even more than 2.5 seconds in that time. But we'll have to just watch, because if they're within 2 seconds when they exit the pits, it's fair game. I think they could figure out a way to get, you know, and close in that much.
Still 0.3 of a second faster. Cabot's kind of losing Baffert.
He is 1 lap. Oh wait, no, they pitted the same lap, didn't they? So
they did, yeah.
He is, yeah, he's falling off. He's slower than Keith Maiato, who's up there in second.
Cabot, I mean, he's been one of the fastest cars of the day, but now looking at it right now, what does Cabot have? Or sorry, what does Hatchell have on laps? About 50?
He has led 60 laps.
Oh, 60. So he's locked up that point.
Yeah, I believe so.
Can't touch him now, on at least right now on laps.
Yeah, because Bailey Turner's led a few.
Yeah, if Hatchell needs another 2, it'll lock it up for Hatchell, because what's his name? Sorry, Cabot has 31.
Yeah, and Bailey's led some, and also Dallas Sullivan's led some. Joshua Banks has led some. So it's kind of split amongst the rest of those cars that there's not enough laps left to overcome Seth Hatchell here. So yeah, Cabot has led 31. So yeah, in 2 laps, I think it's all over. Seth Hatchell
right now,
will.
Bailey Turner's either going to have to hope he can make it on fuel, which I don't know. He's done it before, but I mean, you're asking to go another 5 laps more. It's I don't know. I really don't. He hasn't really fallen over the 12, 13 second mark.
Yeah, he's actually gained time while he's saving all this fuel.
He has fresher tires, which is amazing to me. As Keith Maiato is bringing it down pit road.
Here he comes. First of the leaders to bring it in is going to be Keith Maiato.
That was pretty fast on entry. I don't know if he made it.
We'll have to see what it looks like in the box.
I don't know if he made it. Nope. Yep. It came over the radio. Keith Maiato speeding on pit road.
Oh man, what a bummer. Pit road has been his worst enemy this season. It has cost him the championship. I would say all the points and positions that have been lost on pit road, as he does have to sit there. Yeah.
Unfortunate there for Keith Maiato is somebody else bringing it. Golly's bringing it in. So
Smart.
Set him up for a 30-lap run. Bailey Turner still saving fuel.
Angelo Ronis brings it in as well. So here's the thing. Bailey is running 33.7. Fast laps on fresh tires are 31.4, so about 2.5 seconds faster. When these guys come out on fresh tires, they're going to have about 30 laps left to track down what I would say is probably about 50 seconds difference. That's roughly the time that you gain or you lose when you come to pit road. So they're going to have more than enough time to close in. The question is, can Bailey pick up the pace late in the run and actually, try and hold them off a little bit?
I think what I'm looking at here, I mean, Hatchell is gone. Baffert's not really making up a ton of time, and Cabot's lost Baffert. So I think we've gotten to the point where it's up to see if Baffert can run down Hatchell, but right now they're about matching lap times here. So Hatchell might be able to be that 10th different winner that we've been waiting for ever since the 9th race of the season.
Yes, Maiato just gets off the pit road here, so his race essentially over in terms of being competitive for the win. He's 3 laps down currently. He'll get at least one of those back. But
and even if he had a chance at the championship, that would pretty much eliminate his season here. Like we said, there's always a possibility of a caution. You just never know here. And Bailey Turner, he's praying for one, but he might not be. If he can make it on fuel, it's just really, who knows at this moment. There's still about to be 25 laps to go. Who knows what can happen in these next few laps, as I'll tell you.
Yeah, and here's something interesting for you. Brody Hayes has not pit yet, right? He's been out there 33 laps. He just got passed by Yusuf Ghali and Chris Samard, who have just made their pit stops. So that's how far back Brody is. That strategy is not going to work for him. It might gain him a couple spots in the end if he's able to stretch it. But
I don't know.
Yeah, Brody.
Sorry. Right now is he's had some cars ahead of him that he can draft off of, as now he just lost that car, which was Loveland. But Turner's kind of had some cars to draft off. He's now fallen back to 12 and a half seconds, so he hasn't broke the 13-second mark yet. He's broken the 12, but he hasn't fallen back up to 13 seconds now. As so far, Hatchell's lead is starting to dwindle a little bit, but not enough, as I think he's bringing it in. Yes, he is.
Oh, he really pushed it too.
Oh, man.
I think he's all right, though. It doesn't look like he got speeding. So Ben Bafford will take over the top spot. Adam Cabot here behind. I think Seth has captured most laps led by a few laps.
So now it's just, if a caution comes out, it's still Turner v. Cabot.
Yeah.
Just what we wanted to see. I mean, I'm not hoping for a caution, but if a caution came out, I'll tell you, it'd make this thing a whole lot interesting.
Yeah, Bailey's really struggling here. You can see he's working down on the inside of the racetrack on the exit of the corners, but still saving fuel heavily here, about 10 seconds behind, and Adam Cabot is bringing it in.
Okay. Bafford is staying on the racetrack. Interesting decision.
So Bailey will go by Cabot for the moment. 17 closing into his pit box here.
Hatchell just run out of pit road. He's down into turn 3 now. What does Bafford try to do?
I would think he'd have to respond. Yep.
Yeah, oh my goodness! Right in front of Yusuf Ghali. As he carried a lot of speed, but I think he just made it. And that'll put Bailey Turner in the lead.
See where Cabot cycles out in reference to him. So it'll be, oh boy, it's just over 20 laps to go in this race. Bailey Turner has gone 37 laps on this run, and Adam Cabot is about 3/4 of a lap behind him.
And Cabot can just kind of go now. He's got 25 seconds to make up.
And every lap that Bailey Turner stays out is an extra 2 or 3 seconds lost if he did decide to bring it into pit. So he's going to have to kind of live with this strategy, and he'll have to hope for a yellow flag or something to happen, I think.
Well, I should also point out that Cabot just got by Bafford, and Bafford has fallen back quite a few ways, about 2-3 seconds behind Cabot. And can Cabot run down Hatchell is the question, but Hatchell's kind of got some drafting partners around him. He's got some cars around him. I think Hatchell's going to be cruising to his first win of the season unless a caution comes out. I'll tell you, if a caution comes out right now, Bailey Turner is going to win on his strategy. There's, Dallas Sullivan up into the wall, so he's got to get up in the wall as well. If a caution comes out right now, Bailey Turner is going to be in the best looking spot right now.
Yeah, and Joshua Banks is still out here as well. The only other driver yet to pit is Brody Hayes. I guess Willie Nelson, Reggie Ortega, and Eddie Trejo have yet to bring it in as well.
Saving right now, but look at how slow they're going. I don't think they can.
Yeah, Bailey's running right around a 34-second lap. You look at Adam Cabot; he ran a 31.3, so he is just incredibly fast by comparison. And we have 20 laps to go in this one. The gap now ticks under 20 seconds. It's at 19 seconds. So he just has to make up 1 second per lap, and at the current rate, it's 2.5 seconds a lap.
Yep. And Ghali is side by side with Hatchell, but Hatchell with the tire advantage will go right on by, move him up to third. Only 12 seconds behind Bailey Turner, and still more than 20 laps to go, just at 20 laps to go in this finale race. Turner, he's trying to save fuel. Is it going to be enough, number one? And is he going to have enough fuel in the tank to at least keep himself away from Adam Cabot? They are tied in points right now. Well, Turner's leading points right now, but Cabot actually could get some more spots. So it depends. Right now, Turner would win the championship if the race was over right now, but it's not. There's still 19 laps to go as Cabot goes by his teammate Ronitz here for 7.
This
is
Dallas
Sullivan, who's a lot older tires there. A lot.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Whoa.
He saved it.
Cabot a little bit.
That was a close call for Dallas, who is on much older tires, but just trying to salvage a good, solid finish here. That is not going to help him on his way there, but able to hang on to the race car, falls to 8th position. Cabot now moves up to 6th. Chris Samard, who's on fresh tires as well, he pit about 6 laps earlier than Adam Cabot, is up the road by about 1.5 seconds. Then Yusuf Ghali another 1.5 seconds, and then Hatchel just about a tenth or two out in front from there.
And I tell you, Hatchel was in some deep traffic.
Yeah, he's got his teammate Keith Mayato right here in front of him, who is 2 laps down, looking to go a 3rd lap down after his pit road mistake.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Keith, because I think he would have had a really good shot if he didn't. He's starting to run down Hatchel a little bit that last run, and unfortunately 2 weeks in a row, pit road mishap's going to bite him, but definitely something he'll look to get fixed going into next season. As man, I tell you, Seth Hatchel's got a whole straightaway over Adam Cabot.
Yeah, it is quite a distance, and he's only about 4.2 seconds behind Bailey Turner right now, who is still trying to stretch it on fuel here. But the problem is, it's not now that he's maybe not going to be able to make it on fuel.
Yeah.
He's maybe going to lose all the track position as well, just because they are flying up behind him. That fall off is so much at the end of the run here. I mean, he's running a 34 flat to a 31.84 from Seth Hatchel. It's too much time. And
it is, unfortunately for Bailey Turner's case. I applaud the effort. I think it's a great effort, but it's just not going to be enough for the pace that Cabot's had all night. And right now, the only thing that's going to play into Bailey Turner's hands right now is a caution if it comes out, which is more than possible. We've seen a lot of races come down to it. A green, white checkered, and Cabot winning them. I think winning them, most of them, but one other than the one that was in Vegas. So right now, though, Turner's trying, but it's just, I don't think it's going to be enough. There's still, like I said, a possibility of a caution coming out. As you can see, Baffert taking these boys 3 wide, which could be a very possible chance of a caution coming out. But so far, as you can think, somebody was pinned. I'm not sure. I think it was Ortega bringing it in. Just crazy circumstances that have happened tonight. As Hatchel goes by Bailey Turner for the lead, move the 8 car back up, the 2-time champion, trying to get his first win of the BTDY Premier Series season, up into the lead. He's got 13 laps to go right now as he comes across the line. What a drive by Seth Hatchel. Finally, he's knocking on the door. That first win of the season, going to take us to double-digit winners if he can pull it off here. That VSPEED number 8 Camaro looking good out front right now.
And Yusuf Ghali, the next closest car on fresher tires, but he's about 5 lap older tires than Seth Hatchel, and he is about 5 seconds behind him, so that's just not going to be a winning formula. Adam Cabot, 1 lap fresher tires, but the problem is he's 5.5 seconds back from Seth Hatchel. So Hatchel has really been on it here. He's led 68 laps, coming to 69 led here tonight, and just, putting on a clinic at Atlanta tonight like he did a bit at Las Vegas, only to lose that one late in the going. But here he is, across the line again. It's Bailey Turner in second now. Adam Cabot has moved to the 3rd position, so
not that far behind, I tell you. He is closing up really close to Bailey Turner here, and this will be a quick, short fight for Adam Cabot in this Atlas Chevrolet Camaro, that number 17. He's been strong all year. He's won the last 2 races. Barring a caution, I don't know if he'll be winning this one tonight, but he can at least cruise home to a championship, and it'll be his first championship of his BTDY career as he's running up on Bailey Turner. 11 laps to go at the stripe. This will probably be the last time Bailey Turner will be ahead of the 17.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tough sight for Bailey to see his championship competitor just drive right on by. Much fresher tires, really nothing he can do about it. Hopefully he plays nice here. I don't think we'll see any shenanigans, but he's just going to roll out of the way, and there goes Adam Cabot. Going to take that spot and move into 2nd position. But still 5.2 behind Seth Hatchel, who's just gone in a different zip code. Yeah. Ben Baffert has closed in a little bit on this group as well, so he's going to maybe be able to get up there. He might be able to get up there and fight for 2nd position. He's at least going to get 3rd away as they exit turn number 2.
And what a drive from Ben Baffert all the way from 16th. Played a wild tire saving strategy, got him up to battle with the leaders for a lap, and then tried to save, and it kind of bit him there. If he would have pushed it normal, I have a great feeling that he and Cabot and even Hatchel will be battling for the win right now. But right now, I tell you, Adam Cabot's looking really good for the championship. Barring a caution coming out, it's looking like a first career championship for Adam Cabot. He's going to have to fight for 2nd here over Ben Baffert and as you can see, Bailey Turner. Oh, Yusuf Ghali really loose down the backstretch. Almost gets into Turner.
Yeah, and these guys may not be aware of what Bailey is doing.
Yeah.
You know, they may not realize he's that far off the pace right now. I mean, he's about 0.8 slower than Yusuf was that last lap, but he's quite a bit slower than, you know, Hatchell and some of those other guys with even fresher tires. But it's quite the speed differential at the end of the straightaway, or even, you know, just exiting the corner.
Ghali on those older tires, or sorry, with that damaged car after getting that wreck with Dennis Faircloth on, I think it was lap 15. That a great drive from Yusuf Ghali going up to 4th. I think he did the same strategy as Baffert, and seems like it's going to pay off for at least the top 5. As Samard is slowly but surely running him down, but I think he should be able to hold on here. As we're closing in here, coming to 6 laps to go for Seth Hatchell. 4.5 seconds ahead of Adam Cabot. Cabot 0.2 of a second faster, but they're going by Keith Mayato right now, which will probably hold up Cabot a little bit, but Cabot slowly but surely eating up at that lead here. Ben Baffert closing in on Cabot here for 2nd. Yeah,
this will be the battle to watch here in the final few laps for 2nd position. You hope that Ben doesn't get into Adam, but Ben is a pretty aggressive driver. I think he'll respect the nature of the championship here tonight, though. I know he wants to be up there and get the win, but they're just so far back unless somebody else brings out the yellow flag. You don't want to be the cause of the yellow because you'll get the EOL and also get some damage. So
yeah, Ronis Loveland going at it here for 7. Got Brody Hayes there in the mix, a lap down. Ronis, good comeback here tonight. Great to have him back, and looking forward to having him back in the next season, hopefully. And James Lovin, I think we'll see him back next season as well. So looking forward to seeing both of these guys. As Seth Hatchell takes 5 laps to go here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, and 5 laps to go in what has been, well, let's just say it, an amazing season in the BTDY Premier Series. We've had amazing races. This one's been nothing but amazing as well. Different strategies going on. Great racing all around. Hatchell coming now to 4 laps to go. And 4 laps to go from Adam Cabot winning his first BTDY Premier Series championship. Baffert running him down for 2nd. He just doesn't need a wreck. He needs to stay ahead of the 24. And he'll be locking up that championship as Willie Nelson has brought it to pit road.
Yeah, I saw the speed drop to 0. I wasn't sure what was going on, but he did bring it into pit lane. We'll see if Bailey Turner is able to stretch it on fuel. He's battling currently with Chris Samard. This will be for a top 5 finish. Chris would love to end the season on some momentum as he gets right up behind the 24, nearly gets into the back bumper. Heavy battle behind them, though, between Loveland and Ronis and Hayes, who is, like you said, a lap down. Here's Bailey Turner now getting passed by the 77 of Chris Samard, so Chris will move into 5th.
They'll probably lose another spot to Loveland and probably his teammate Ronis and put him back to 8th again. That's if he can make it on fuel here. I mean, impressive if he can get it all the way on fuel here. So coming to 2 to go for Seth Hatchell.
Hatchell out of turn 4. The driver of the number 8, the 2-time champion. He's got about 3 miles left to claim his first victory of the season. And it's been a long road for him. I know he moved, he moved twice, I think, during this season in real life. And he missed a few races, won the regular season championship, and looks like he should be able to seal the deal here tonight with a victory, to close out the season. Adam Cabot, Ben Baffert really going at it here for 2nd position, and Baffert pushing the issue. That gets right down to the apron.
There you go, yeah, and Baffert's lost the nose in the wake there. White flag, 1 more lap to go in the BTDY Premier Series season. Seth Hatchell trying to make it the 10th different winner in the BTDY series. It just shows how competitive this league is, and we can't wait for next year. And down the backstretch, the battle for 2nd raging on with Adam Cabot and Ben Baffert as Baffert really loose off the corner. But through 3 and 4, Seth Hatchell is going to win at Atlanta, and the Magic Man will also come through 3 and 4. It's been nothing but magic tonight for Adam Cabot as Seth Hatchell wins at Atlanta, but behind him, Adam Cabot becomes a BTDY Premier Series champion.
And what a night for both of those drivers. Hatchell getting a win to continue his season win streak. Not going to be the championship that he was hoping for this year, but Adam Cabot, what a season as a rookie. He wins 4 races and then comes home a runner-up here in the final race to take that championship. What a drive by the 17 all night and all season long. Put on a show for us. Great job by Mr. Cabot and by Mr. Hatchell in tonight's race.
Dual burnouts is the question. I know they're on different teams, but again, congratulations to Seth Hatchell. 10 different winners on the season. Doesn't get better than that, as Hatchell's going to bring it down pit road, and Cabot is going to burn it down. Championship-style burnouts here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Bailey Turner was able to make it on fuel. He got 8th position, and he'll finish 2nd in the championship standings. Also want to point out, I think Ben Baffert is going to get 3rd in points.
Yeah, I think so as well. He was only, what, 2 points behind my auto, and Keith ended up all the way back in 13th position, not where he needed to be tonight after capturing the pole and running up front. How about Adam Cabot burning it down here on the front stretch for his first championship in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series? We'll interview him and the rest of the top 3 finishers. We'll also talk, I think, to Bailey. We'll pull him into the booth, just talk to him about tonight's race as well. But you won't want to miss those interviews after a quick break and word from our sponsors. And back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling in our 3rd place finisher here tonight. That is Mr. Ben Baffert. Alec, I believe you are with him.
I am. Let's see if I can get him in here. Ben Baffert, Alec Martinez, Anna Baker in the VSPEED booth. Got a copy?
We got a copy.
Well, Ben, you had a great strategy of going from 16th to 3rd, and then kind of fell off during that 2nd run, buddy. But you come home 3rd in points after Keith Mayato's mishaps in the pits. Describe the season and describe this race.
Well, the season was phenomenal, start to finish. I definitely could have done a couple things better. I could have woken up for more races. I could have not gotten a flat tire, but at the end of the day, the comeback from missing a couple races, not bad for 3rd. But the season was great. A lot of fun battles, great setups, by the way. The setup was amazing too. But good battles. Adam did a wonderful job this season. Bailey did a great job. Everybody just did a really, really good job. It was a great time. Definitely worth my time and money.
Absolutely. Well, buddy, again, you come home 3rd tonight. What's the preview now as we go to different cars, new season, everything resets. You kick it off to Clash here in 2 weeks at IRP and then to Daytona. I know. I tell you, well, the postponement. But I got to ask, what are you most excited for next year, and what are you looking forward to? What are your expectations for next season?
Well, I'm looking forward to the Xfinity car, obviously. I'm definitely looking forward to learning how to drive that thing again because next gen's definitely different than the C and B truck and car, but it should be fun. I don't doubt my abilities, but it should be a good fun time.
Absolutely. Well, buddy, again, congratulations on the third place in points and in the race. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. But before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to for this next season?
Give a shout out to the entire league. Y'all do a great job. Everybody in the admin booth does a wonderful job. Everybody just did a wonderful job the entire season. Couldn't be happier.
Heck yeah. Well,
Especially
again,
y'all.
brother. Oh, well, we appreciate that. Again, congratulations, Ben. Great season, by the way. Congrats on the wins. Congrats on the third place in points. Happy New Year. We'll see you back 2 weeks for the Clash.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, that is third place finisher tonight. Ben Bafford, third place in points as well as we go to tonight's race winner. That's going to be Mr. Seth Hatchell, and I believe he's here with us. Seth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, a dominating performance here in the season finale. You make it 10 winners on the season. You continue your win streak here, in another season. How does it feel to close things out with a victory after what's been kind of an up and down season for you?
Yeah, it feels great, especially how good I ran tonight. I wasn't expecting to be as good as I was. It only took me, how many races this season till the last race to finally get one. So definitely glad to get one. It was a fun race out there. I was surprised it got spread out as it was, and I had a little bit of luck fall my way and came home with the victory.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guys slipping and sliding and trying different strategies, but it seemed like you just kind of, stayed solid and stayed consistent and put down a lot of great laps, lap after lap after lap, and nobody could really touch you here tonight. But we do go to the Xfinity cars next season, completely different than these next-gen machines. How do you feel about the change of car and kind of kicking things off with a new season?
Fun in those cars. I'll be honest, I haven't ran them in a consistent manner probably 3-4 years now, so it'll be fun to get back into those and feel how those drive different with the side force and how the setups are with all those. So that ought to be fun, and hopefully looking to turn around and go for a championship next season.
And we get that started off in just a couple weeks with the Clash. So looking forward to seeing what you can do in the Xfinity machines. But you win the finale here tonight at Atlanta. Dominating performance, leading 81 laps after starting in the 4th position. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for this season and for the race tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank you two for doing a great job of the broadcast, letting everybody at home watch and doing such a great job. Got to thank all the sponsors of the league for allowing us to do what we do, especially Nick and all the admins doing a great job, and my team VSPEED.
Awesome, Seth. Well, congrats on the victory here tonight and continuing that streak of seasons with a win. Go celebrate, and we'll catch you at the start of next season at the Clash.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats, Seth.
That is Seth Hatchell, race winner here tonight. I believe next on the list that we're going to pull in, that's going to be Bailey Turner, who came home in the 8th position here tonight. Bailey, this is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, Bailey, I know it's been a crazy couple weeks for you here. You're able to get in the car tonight and race with us and ultimately tried a strategy in the end that didn't work out. But just describe the race tonight and how it ended up for you and ultimately coming home second in the championship.
Yeah, no, first off, I just want to say thanks to you guys and the broadcast and the admins in the league and everybody that was flexible enough to move it to this week and for me due to that little earthquake in California. But yeah, no, I felt like I had good speed there in that middle run. I think I chased down Adam, was right on his bumper, and just dirty air. I couldn't really make the aggressive moves I wanted to, and tires started to go a little bit. And I was hoping that another caution might come out or something, and I just started saving fuel. I was like, well, if I can't, I have to beat him somehow, and have to beat him by multiple spots at that point, because I think at that point in the race he had led the most laps. So tried to do the fuel saving strategy. It's got me a couple of race wins this season, and if I probably would have started it maybe 5 to 10 laps earlier, that caution would have came out about 5 laps later. That might have worked out. But no, congrats to Adam. He's definitely one of the best sim racers I know in this league. A really good friend. We go to NASCAR races together, and it's always a good time. And pretty good teammate as well. So couldn't be happier for him.
Yeah, and it was really just an incredible battle between you two down the stretch here in the chase. And, your first season in the league, and you come home second in the championship after 4 wins and really just a fantastic breakout season for you. Just looking, back throughout the season, how do you feel about your performance and what you learned and then taking that and carrying it into a completely different car next season?
Yeah, I'm going to be disappointed to see the next gen go, definitely. I think it's produced probably some of the best racing I've ever been a part of on the service. But overall, it's a pretty good season. Little lulls in performance throughout the beginning of the season and stuff like that. And still trying to figure this car out. I never had ran a league with this car. But overall, pretty happy with the way things turned out. Definitely, had some really good speed at times, short tracks, stuff like that. And honestly, just looking forward to the next few months. Hopefully going to be upgrading my computer, sim rig, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully that correlates to a little better performance.
Yeah, you definitely put on a lot of great shows for us this season. Those 4 victories, really, really, really amazing season for you. So, a lot to be proud of in the 24 camp here after, your rookie year as well. But second place in the championship, 8th place here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to as we close things out?
Yeah, shout out to all the teammates. It's always a great time kind of working with them throughout the races and stuff like that. Adam, obviously, great friend, gonna be a great champion. You guys in the booth, Alec Martinez set up shops, never really let us down this season. White Claw, of course, being on board all season, and the admins. I mean, this wouldn't be possible without all those guys taking the time to put this all together every week, and honestly, just showing up and having a great time. It's been fun.
Awesome, Bailey. Well, congrats again. Second place in the championship this season. Really a lot of fun to watch you out there, and go celebrate the new year as well. And we'll see you back in a few weeks for the Clash.
Thank you, guys.
That is Bailey Turner, second in the championship, 8th place here tonight at Atlanta. And next up, it's going to be Adam Cabot, who's your season champion. And Alec, I believe you're with him.
I am the Magic Man, buddy. It was a magical night tonight. How does it sound? BTDY Premier Series champion.
Man, I like the sound of that. I could get used to that. What a fun race. What a fun season. It was cool to have the race play out organically and not have it come down to a bunch of restarts at the end. But yeah, what a season.
I mean, absolutely. Well, again, you come home second tonight. I got to ask you, take us through what was going through your mind, especially when you saw Bailey up in front of you 25 seconds ahead.
I would say I was nervous then, and I was, but really the nerves started way earlier than that. It started back when I saw that there was about 50 laps left in the race, and I was showing about 44 laps on fuel, and I was like, no way. I'm like, this always happens whenever there's like that kind of a gap. I'm like, that's enough that someone could potentially go and try to save. And I'm like, Bailey's exactly the type of person who would try that. And I've been burned by that strategy here in Monday Night Racing. Colin Fern did the same thing and was able to stretch it and end up getting me at the end. That's what kicked me out of the Final Four there last season. So I started having a lot of those memories rush through my head, and I was like, I can't lose this thing the same way I lost that. But yeah, I tried to play. I tried to play it really aggressive early in the race. At first I figured, hey, if I'm starting up, towards the front, might as well go hard and try to lead the most laps and maybe give myself a little bit of a buffer there, since it wasn't just a winner take all type championship and we had to go for points. So, but then once I realized it was going to be really tough to pass the leader in dirty air, I kind of backed off a bit, and especially there was one run where I just followed in Ben Bafford's tire track, since he's always the tire saving king and always backs his pace way off. So I had my relative up on the screen to keep my eye on exactly where Bailey was, how far behind he was to me, make sure that if he pit, that I'd know it and be able to just basically just play defense the whole race. If he was going to pit, I was going to pit the next lap after that and try to cover it and not let him pull any sort of strategy on me. But like I said, once I saw that it could become a fuel mileage race, that's when I started to get nervous, because I knew that he could potentially stretch it, and wasn't sure how I was going to time out at the end. But luckily it all worked out there. We had a clean green finish and had a lot of fun racing Ben. We always seem to find each other at the end of these races, but at the same time, it's really tough when you're going for a championship and you've got like, a huge lead, Bailey many seconds back, and all you have to do is not crash for the last 10 laps. So it's a tough balance to try to want to still fight for positions, but not do anything stupid and throw away a championship. But yeah, just I thought I was going to be part-time this year, and I guess sometimes it's the most the unplanned things that end up being some of the most fun in life. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so awesome time. Thanks to you guys at VSPEED for putting on these broadcasts. Thanks for Below the Double Yellow, because this really was probably the most fun I've ever had in a league. I mean, this season was insane with the finishes. I mean, every single one of my wins being a pass with like a lap or two left to go. That's just insane. And then even outside of that, I mean, the race we had at Pocono that Bailey won on fuel mileage was one of the most exciting races I've ever been a part of. I've never been a part of a league that just consistently had so many exciting finishes. So that's all I got for you.
I need to ask you, are you going to be a part of it next year? And if you are, what are you looking forward to most next year? Or next season, I should say. Well, and next year, I guess.
I'm thinking right now, I mean...
you got to defend. You got to be
well,
champion.
So I don't want to be a hypocrite because, or I don't want to... Because I said I was going to be part-time this season, and obviously I was full of it with that. Those plans changed quickly when I won the first 2 races of the season. So, I mean, I guess never say never, but honestly, I'm planning on probably just running a handful of races, a couple races here and there. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a challenge for those guys next year in the Xfinity car for sure. It's maybe not exactly my cup of tea right now with the way the car is on the surface, but that car for sure is going to be difficult to drive and reward some tire saving and hopefully help grow the league. And who knows what, maybe iRacing will get some patches in and finally get the new damage and contact model on it, maybe make some updates so it's drives a little bit more like a vehicle with 4 wheels and a little less like a boat.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, just huge thanks to you, Adam, VSPEED, like I said, Below the Double Yellow, Nick Starling, because you guys are the ones who put in the work and make this stuff happen, and I get to just kind of show up and race. So I got the easy job here.
Well, I appreciate you getting the shout out section out of the way. But so, again, congratulations. Again, champion. A great season, man. And, of course, capping it off with the championship, buddy. So, hopefully, we get to see you next year in that 17 Atlas Chevy Xfinity car. So, again, congratulations, buddy. And hopefully, we'll see you next year.
All right. Sounds good, Alec. Thanks.
Absolutely. And that's
That's
him.
it.
You're a champion. You're a champion. And I just want to say, Adam, it's been an honor, a pleasure to be up here calling these last 2 seasons with you, man. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this. It's awesome. It's so fun. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to having you in the booth sometimes next year and working with Bradley Cooper next year and seeing your race and seeing all these guys put on great shows, different card. But these guys haven't disappointed, and I don't think they'll disappoint next year. And I cannot wait for next season. It's going to be wild. Different cars. Who knows who's going to win? I think it could be even more competitive than it was this season, especially with, like I said, with the different cars and setups. So it's going to be fun. I cannot wait for next year. Happy New Year, and hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Thank you to all the viewers who watched. It's truly an honor doing this for y'all, and hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm looking forward. I hope you guys tune in next season. It's going to be a wild one, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be fun. And like I said, hope you guys all tune in, and just can't thank you enough for watching. And Adam, again, can't thank you enough for having me up here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and it's so good to have you to call the action with me. I've been it makes it that much more enjoyable for all these fans who tune in each and every week. And we do want to give a shout out to everybody who tunes in and supports the channel. We really do appreciate it. Have a very happy New Year. We do hope you had a Merry Christmas as well this past weekend. And we will catch you all in 2023. We will be off for a few weeks here, so go celebrate with your family and friends and be together if you can be, and try and stay warm with the crazy winter weather that we've had. But what a season. And Alec, yeah, looking forward to the Xfinity cars next year to both be in the booth and calling some races, and also being able to drive it a few times, because that's something I've missed out on here over the last couple of years. But I definitely am looking forward to getting back in the race car and trying to go and beat some of these guys that we call the races for each and every week. But I'm sure you and Bradley are going to do a fantastic job, and you did a great job in the Xfinity season finale last week. That was a lot of fun to watch. Made it very, very enjoyable, and I have high hopes for you guys for this next season, and we'll see how we can do on the racetrack for you. But big field coming in, and a lot of new drivers, new names that are going to put on a show for us each and every week. So you're going to want to tune in back on the 10th. That is January 10th. We will be bringing a few races for the BMW Car Club of America on Thursday nights starting next year as well. It's going to be about 5 races per 10-race season. So, yeah, just a little bit less content. They're looking for more sponsorships over there, but also cutting back on the number of races that they're running. Some guys with real-world commitments having trouble making the field. But, yeah, looking forward to getting back in the booth with those guys, and back here with the Below the Double Yellow. What's the series? They're not calling it the Premier Series anymore.
It's called, at the moment, they're waiting for a sponsorship, but it's the BTDY Racing Series currently.
Okay.
I would think they're probably going to keep it as the Premier Series, my guess, just because it's like the main series. But
Yeah.
That's to be discussed, I guess, for admins and getting down there to get to IRP in the old Indianapolis. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just, man, there's so many exciting things to look forward to next season, and I can't wait. It's going to be fun, and like I said, hope you all tune in, and anybody who knows somebody that's doing nothing, tell them what they're missing. Tell them to show up here on January 10th, that Tuesday night, the Clash, and then the week after the old Daytona race on the 17th of January. So tell them what they're missing. Hope you guys can tune in and just enjoy the season with us, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a wild ride.
It will be, and congrats to Adam Cabot on the championship here to close out 2022. He is the champion in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series. Thanks to all the folks at Below the Double Yellow that allow us to do this for them. All the sponsors this season, that's Martin Sports, Sailor Tarot Magic, Affinity for Gaming, Simulators Anonymous, Bush League Bound podcasts, and so many more that help make this all possible. I want to thank you guys for being on board here this season and supporting Below the Double Yellow and VSPEED. And we hope you all have a happy new year, and we will see you in 2023.